Bangladesh and Myanmar receive humanitarian assistance from New Zealand. The New Zealand government is donating $4 million to support United Nations agencies and non-governmental organizations in Bangladesh that aid refugees and their host communities. The funds will benefit 1.3 million vulnerable people in the country, including programs for women and girls. In addition, $2 million will assist 336,000 conflict-affected people in Myanmar. The Honorable Nanaya Mahuta, New Zealand's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who announced the total $6 million fund, also called for an end to the strife in Myanmar and a return to civilian rule. New Zealand is a recipient of Shining World Leadership Awards for Compassion and Peace, and a laureate of 2 Shining World Leadership Awards for Climate Change Mitigation, and Shining World Leadership Awards for Earth Conservation, Earth Protection, Earth Guardian, and Earth Restoration. Thank you, New Zealand, for your wholehearted help to our brothers and sisters in Bangladesh and Myanmar. May they find peace and stability to rebuild their lives, and heaven's blessings.
Humans' harmful effect on freshwater ecosystems could take millions of years to undo. International researchers, led by the Justus Liebig University Gießen in Germany, have discovered that even if the destructive biota human activity were to stop today, it would take millions of years for freshwater ecosystems to recover. The researchers studied fossilized and living gastropods, which are invertebrate animals, including slugs and snails, and determined that their current rate of extinction is 300% greater than that of the mass extinction that occurred when the dinosaurs were eliminated. Following the asteroid strike that marked that period, it had taken over 12 million years for ecosystems to stabilize. Thank you, international researchers, for your sobering study. We pray that all agricultural and economic systems will soon switch to sustainable vegan models as the quickest way to reverse the loss of life in divine compassion.
Robot dog could help rescuers see through walls. A University of Florida research team in the United States, led by Dr. Eric Jingdu, is developing a robotic dog that will have the ability to enter buildings and quickly create 3D models of them so that firefighters and other rescuers can effectively see through the walls. The models are then relayed to the emergency personnel via augmented reality goggles, effectively giving them the ability to better navigate through dangerous environments, such as when there has been a fire or earthquake. The technology could also be used by civil engineers who need to inspect structures after a disaster. Our applause, Dr. Eric Jingdu and team, for your high-thinking idea to improve the safety of others. We wish for the successful use of your robot to protect lives. In heaven's grace.
Study in Australia shows greenery around school enhances academic performance. A study of 851 primary schools in the Greater Melbourne area analyzed the correlation of students' test scores with exposure to greenery and traffic-related air pollution. The 5 areas of assessment were reading, writing, spelling, grammar, and numeracy. The researchers found that students in greener areas with low traffic levels had higher scores in reading, numeracy, and grammar, while higher exposure to traffic-related air pollution was linked to poorer test performance. Thank you, researchers, for highlighting the need for green spaces around schools to boost the students' learning experience. May your study encourage building planners and governments to invest in healthier educational environments for our precious children. In God's loving guidance.
Âu Lạc or Vietnamese environmentalist receives prestigious award. The 2021 Goldman Environmental Prize for Asia was recently awarded to Nguyen Van Thai, founder of Save Vietnam's Wildlife. Mr. Nguyen was honored for his organization's exceptional efforts in rescuing almost 1,600 pangolins from the multi-billion-dollar illegal wildlife trade between 2014 and 2020. Pangolins are not only critically endangered, they are also the most trafficked animal in the world for their flesh and scales. Mr. Nguyen and his team's diligent activities that cover 330,000 acres of forest at Phu Mat National Park have resulted in an 80% decline in illegal poaching there. Rescued pangolins are rehabilitated before being released back into the wild and monitored using drone technology. Mr. Nguyen also helps to raise public's awareness on the plight of the gentle pangolins. Congratulations, Nguyen Van Thai, on your award, and heaven bless your noble heart. May the innocent pangolins and all wildlife species be evermore safeguarded in divine mercy.
Supreme Master Ching Hai gladly present the Shining World Compassion Award to save Vietnam's wildlife, plus a $15,000 humble contribution in support of your heartfelt work to protect the shy, sweet, and defenseless pangolins. With love and best wishes for continuing success in heaven's mercy.
Major international news channel airs a story about meat and the environment. In a segment called How Meat is Making the Planet Sick, CNN's award-winning journalist Fareed Zakaria interviewed the New York Times columnist Ezra Klein, who is a vegan, about the tremendous consequences of meat on human health, the climate, and animal cruelty. The journalist discussed the facts that animal raising causes mass deforestation, displaced wildlife, and global warming, while also increasing the risk of pandemics and antibiotic resistance. Mr. Klein said, there is a lot of animal suffering here, but stacked on top of that is actually a lot of human suffering too. Mr. Zakaria said he himself is actively reducing his meat intake, as Mr. Klein also recommended the acceleration of land-based meat development. Thank you, CNN, Fareed Zakaria, and Ezra Klein, for this much-needed discussion on the most urgent topic. In heaven's support, may all media members inform citizens to make the wise switch to the vegan diet.
Rarely seen seahorse makes appearance in United Kingdom. A long-snouted seahorse, also known as the spiny seahorse, was sighted off the British southwest coast near the port city of Plymouth. The Ocean Conservation Trust has been restoring seagrass meadows along the coastline and raising awareness about the environmental importance of seagrass beds. They are home to a host of marine wildlife and absorb 25 times more carbon dioxide than forests, holding it for thousands of years. The Ocean Conservation Trust's development officer Mark Perry, who spotted the seahorse, said, "It was humbling to experience this rare seahorse sighting, as it highlights the significance of what we're trying to do with our seagrass restoration work. Bravo, Ocean Conservation Trust, for your dedicated work. May our glorious oceans and marine life someday be allowed to flourish 100% in the care of the Providence."